Hello, it's lexingtonmpi back with another video, and today we have more interesting news in the cryptoverse, or should I say metaverse. So Facebook announced their new name, which is Meta, which is part of a play into the metaverse. And what we've seen, as you can see by the headline here, is some cryptocurrencies essentially increasing in value due to that news coming out. MANA in particular, which is up 44% ever since the metaverse or meta news from Facebook. So what seems to have taken place is that Facebook has rebranded, and partly probably due to the bad press it's had recently regarding privacy, etc., and is taking a Google approach. So technically, Google is a brand that is owned by a company called Alphabet. So there was Google for years, and then Google said, you know what, we're going to actually have a company called Alphabet, and that Alphabet owns Google, the search engine, and YouTube, and the various other products that Google owns. And it seems Facebook is doing the same thing. Meta is the parent company that owns Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp. So that's essentially what Facebook has done. Now, Meta, I think it's pretty clear from the announcement from Facebook, is short for metaverse, or essentially Facebook trying to get into the metaverse world and making a play for that. And what is the metaverse? It's an interesting new term that I'm sure we will hear lots about. Well, this article kind of goes on to explain what the metaverse actually is. So the metaverse is a term used to describe, I guess, the future evolution of the internet, where you can have, I guess, currently we have flat apps in that they're two-dimensional, like on a screen. And I suppose those will be replaced by 3D virtual environments that we will kind of be immersed in and be, part of, maybe with VR goggles. Facebook or Meta owns a company called Oculus, right? The 3D virtual reality goggles, for example. So there'll be 3D environments that are shared spaces where you can kind of, make interactions and have a more immersive, I guess. Imagine being on Instagram and say walking through the different pictures, for example. I suppose that's the idea of that metaverse. So what has that got to do with cryptocurrency, and how am I going to make some money out of this? It's probably the question you're probably asking me and thinking, right? Well, the reason is because there are cryptocurrencies and NFT style games based on blockchains that are already in the metaverse, right? So that's Axie Infinity, Decentraland, Engine. These are all cryptocurrency or blockchain based games that are versions of metaverse, right? Part of the metaverse. See, the games where there are virtual reality. Decentraland, for example, this is their website, essentially allows you to buy land, in Decentraland. And that land has value. You can sell it. So that's a virtual world, right? So I'm guessing at some point you may be able to put on some VR goggles and go to your land in Decentraland, right? You also have Sandbox, another cryptocurrency. This is the 1 day chart, as you can see. So actually, it went from 87 cents up to $1.12, for example. There you go. But Sandbox, Engine, Decentraland. You also have Axie. Take a quick look at the price action on to take a look. Engine, what's that gone on? That's gone from 219 to 250. Decentraland has gone from 80, right? 80 to what's that now? $1.34. Let's take a quick look at Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity, the cryptocurrency, is a game on the blockchain that very similar to Pokemon. Is how I would describe it. So let us take a look at that chart while it loads. But super interesting stuff. These cryptocurrencies are, well ahead of Facebook essentially. So the theory being that with a massive multi-billion, I think it's even worth trillions potentially, company like Facebook entering the metaverse, entering the world of digital realities, that will bring about added attention to the space, and therefore these cryptocurrencies may gain from that, which is how I read this particular price action. Now, moves of 44% or 67%, wow, 67% in 24 hours. There are more than likely going to be corrections, right? But what this is an indication of the trajectory that we're going in, right? So Facebook have said that NFTs will play a part in the metaverse and these digital worlds, right? So non-fungible tokens will be enabling metaverse users to have ownership of digital assets. See, NFTs allow you to own something digitally. So if a company like Facebook is creating a digital world, an environment, then you need digital ownership. How that will work out, NFT branded clothing, NFT accessories, similar to what you buy in your current games. That sounds like it could and will be the future. So now you're seeing the kind of the NFT space on crypto and the blockchain kind of colliding with the games, Alice, Decentraland, Sandbox, Axie Infinity. So super interesting stuff, and that is what has driven the rally in price action here over the past day or so. We will see if we start seeing a correction in the price, but it's super interesting, not change in direction, but entrant into the market for Facebook to be entering this space. One other thing I did see was there is already a metaverse festival hosted by Decentraland. Key thing to note here that Facebook didn't invent the whole metaverse thing. It was around before, which is why these cryptocurrencies are mooning right now. It's because they potentially got the cosign from Facebook. And once again, another interesting article on Forbes. So I suspect that the metaverse or metaverse will definitely be a term for 2022. And that'll be part of our lexicon and some of the words we use on a regular basis. It kind of goes into the competing space, right? So centralized metaverses. So what will Facebook create? Will Facebook integrate Decentraland and the other kind of decentralized platforms into the Facebook metaverse, or will they be creating their own games and worlds? All TBC, right? To be confirmed. But I'll link these articles in the description below. But just wanted to update you all on what's happening in the metaverse and Facebook and cryptocurrency and how they all align and why some of your favorite crypto games have had such a increase in price action over the past 24 hours. As always, LexMPI, please like and subscribe. Have a good day. Thanks a lot. Bye.